All right, we're here with Chris Archer at the Athletic Performance Center. We're pleased to have the Clayton native with us. And Chris was drafted in 2006 by the Cleveland Indians in the 5th round. And in 2008, he was later traded to the Chicago Cubs. In 2010, Chicago Cubs Minor League Pitcher of the Year. Fortunately for us, in 2011, he was traded to the Tampa Bay Rays organization, where he ended up with the AAA Durham Bulls. This past offseason, Chris came to the APC and trained with Will Parker for strength and agility, and rehabilitated with the APC physical therapy staff to improve his cuff and shoulder strength. This past season, Chris started in AAA Durham, where he led the International League in strikeouts and was named the Rays Minor League Pitcher of the Year, and finished up the season in the Rays big league team that just missed the playoffs. Chris, thanks for joining us.
No problem. Nice to be here.
A couple of questions for you about your training and everything. What made you choose to train and rehab at the APC here in Raleigh?
I took a look at a couple different places in the area a few years ago, actually, before the 2011 season, and did some things with Will on the strength side and the speed side. And then last year, I realized how important shoulder strengthening and flexibility and endurance, all that was, and I took it upon myself to kind of quiz Jamie and the rest of the staff here, and it seemed like a perfect fit, and it ended up doing me a lot of good.
Great, yeah. What's helped your training, what in your training do you think has helped you on the pitcher's mound the most?
On the physical side, I think muscle endurance, power output, and not just from game to game, but throughout the whole season. We play a long season that starts in February with spring training and doesn't end until last week, the first week in October. And I was able to stay healthy throughout the whole season, and I think that's where your opportunities will come. If you stay healthy and stay consistent, then while others are injured and not consistent, then you'll have the opportunity.
Cool. So do you think your training here helped you get that extra advantage and make it to the big league club this year?
Yeah, I believe so, because like I was saying before, some people didn't take their shoulder strengthening program as serious, or didn't take their overall body strengthening as serious, and I did that, and I was able to do that with these facilities here with no question.
And this is your first league, you got to pitch up in the majors. What's the difference in pitching in the majors versus the minor league?
I tried to keep it as simple and as the same as I could. But obviously it's a bigger stage. But for the most part, just try to keep it the same.
And what are your pitching goals, personally and for the team for next season?
Goals-wise, honestly, it's nothing really selfish. I want to be able to compete and keep my team in every game that I'm a part of. And, hopefully we make it to the World Series and I can be a part of that.
We'd like to see that too. With your training and rehab here, what's changed about your game the most?
I think what's changed the most is, as everyone else has already peaked and started to kind of taper off towards the last couple months of the season, I'm still peaking. I'm still climbing the ladder, and my last game of the season, my last month of the season, I was throwing harder than the first month of the season, and I was more consistent. I was just as strong as I was at the beginning, and I think that's where guys start to fall off there, is the last 2 months of the season, and I was still peaking.
And great, one last question. For any young baseball players or other athletes out there, do you have any advice for them in terms of training?
In terms of training? Yeah, I mean, just like with anything else, if you're going to do something, do it with a definite purpose and 100% conviction in yourself.
Great. Chris, thanks for your time, and good luck this offseason. We look forward to watching you next year.
Thank you, Jamie.